Bread and Butter episode number 9.
Yeah.
Numero 9.
Numero 9.
We're Niners. I'm Zach Ferber. Alongside me, Tanner Nava, Taylor Enns, George Ventura, Richard Endall, our brilliant producer and stats guy.
Squad's back.
The squad is back.
It was lonely on Monday,
Full
guys.
force.
On Monday, it was
Full
just me and
force.
you.
The
Full
gruesome
force.
twosome.
The gruesome twosome, me and Taylor. We got the full force. We got the squad. Squad. Everybody's here today. Beautiful Wednesday afternoon here in Canyons Radio. What a beautiful establishment we're in, the College of the Canyons Radio Room. Let's get down to it, guys.
Sports.
High school football. Foothill League play starts this Friday.
Woo!
About time. The Valencia Vikings will be playing Hart. And
That's like showdown of the century right there.
Yep.
It's like what we were all waiting for.
But
I'm saying Valencia wins by at least like 21.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
it could probably
Maybe
happen.
49.
But the Vikings lost
They
last
did
week.
lose
They
last
lost to a tough Calabasas team, 65-63. Connor Downs. In that game, he was 25 of 37, which is something we don't usually say. He usually goes
What?
6 of 10.
yeah.
25 of 37, 423 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Moises Haynes, 30 carries, 222 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Javon Wilson, 23 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. And Mikael Wright, 7 receptions, 157 yards, and 1 touchdown. Hart has struggled this year so far, but JT Shrout, I believe, leads the Foothill League in
Touchdowns and yards.
Touchdown
by
and
1
yards.
yard
By
over,
one.
over Connor Downs. The difference between Connor Downs and JT Shrout, though, is JT Shrout is 11 touchdowns for 9 interceptions. And Connor Downs is 10 touchdowns for 2 interceptions. And the quarterback rating shows that Connor Downs has a good 60 points ahead of JT Shrout in quarterback rating.
Oh.
Mm.
One
Yo.
more yard, though.
Hey, how about Moises Haynes, though? 4 TDs over
That guy's pretty
200
good. I
yards.
think
He's
not
He's
bad.
been doing really good. And the thing is, me and Tanner were actually able to see like the very first game, so we're just seeing Moises really come out this season and just ball
Yeah,
out.
Moises
How
Haynes,
many touchdowns does he have?
he has 13 on the season. The next
13
closest
already.
in the Foothill League is 6.
And he had
Moises Haynes
4.
also-
He
Isn't
also
it
has-
Javon,
he also-
Wilson has like 6, isn't
Javon Wilson is not on this list.
Javon Wilson
He
has
has
9.
9. Oh
in
my
total
God.
touchdowns. He has 9.
And he is the backup running back. For
Oh
Valencia.
my God.
He also
Valencia.
plays quite a lot, though.
No, he does. He plays 2 ways. He plays off.
But the next closest in yards behind Moises Haynes is Quinn Schaefer of Saugus, and he's 200 yards behind.
Jeez, man.
And he's actually averaging Haynes 161 yards per game rushing.
Yeah, 9
So
yards per
that's an
carry.
attack right there that Valencia has to offer.
Yeah, they just run down your throat, and then
Tire that D
Connor Downs whenever you're like, hey coach, can I throw it for a touchdown for like 80
Just
yards?
really quick.
Yeah.
Just really quick, Coach. Can I just gun it?
Let me gun it real quick, brother.
Coach.
Well, I mean, at least with the game that he had, we know that he can throw it if he needs
Well,
to.
they lost the game, but
They
he
did
can
lose
throw
the game,
it.
but
yeah.
I mean, can you really blame an offense for
No,
getting
for-
62 points?
Yeah, true. They did score 63, right? Yeah.
Or 63?
No.
I mean,
Yeah, that's crazy.
Calabasas scored 65. Valencia scored 63.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's
I'm
not,
sad. They
that's
put
not
they put the
quarterback.
stats up finally on Monday. I was looking for the stats
Yeah.
and they weren't up there, but
We had nothing to talk about
I
that
was
game.
like, yeah, Valencia lost. I don't know what happened, but they lost.
But they lost, you know. Some stuff happened,
Yeah.
but it
I
was
think
yeah,
they
whatever.
scored a couple touchdowns.
Yeah, a
one or
few.
two.
Yeah,
Something.
Talk about high scoring game, dude.
yeah. And then we got
West Ranch and Canyon.
West Ranch. and
West Ranch,
Canyon.
the only undefeated team. They have sole possession of first place. So far on the season, West Ranch, Colton Mitchell, 31 of 55, 562 yards, 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Senior running back LaRon Huff, 483 yards on the ground and 6 touchdowns. And Quan Glasgow, 215 yards receiving and 4 touchdowns. This West Ranch team is a very, very good offensive team, but we all don't really think they're going to give Valencia a serious run for the money because we know how well Valencia can be. And we've never really seen West Ranch like this.
Yeah.
It was Saugus and Valencia last season, and Hart.
It's usually Hart and Valencia are usually the 2 top teams out here.
Saugus is up there.
I mean, you
sometimes.
never know. They could be better than we think, but I think
I think they're
It's
better
hard.
than everyone thought coming into the year.
yeah,
They're 4-0.
definitely. But it's like we're not going to really know how good they are until they play Valencia.
That will be an exciting game.
That
Yep.
will be. I think every game that Valencia plays for the rest of the season is just going to be like, can they upset Valencia? You know,
Yeah,
because every team in this league is obviously capable of doing something. Like, I always say this every time we always talk about a team that's favored to win by a bunch. Anything can happen.
Yeah,
So,
especially in high school.
especially in high school, when I played high school football, the first game I lost was because we underprepared versus an opponent.
Yeah.
First game we lost was my sophomore year. It was like the 19th game, by the way. That's all I have to say.
Congratulations.
Living in the
Taylor.
glory days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in my day, we didn't lose to my sophomore year.
Coach should have put me in fourth quarter. We'd have won state.
Going to Bama.
I'm going to Bama, Coach.
Okay.
I'm going to Bama.
And then the last game.
Golden Valley and
Saugus.
Saugus. Golden Valley 3-2 on the year and are looking to get back into winning form.
I think that'll be the best game.
Like the closest game?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the most competitive.
A guy everybody's overlooking is Derice Morganfield. He leads the Foothill League in tackles with 48, and he's definitely surpassing the national average. And he really could be a key part of this whole Golden Valley team. We talk about Zach Chevalier in the offense a lot, but give props to this guy. Derice Morganfield, the guy right behind him, Trevor LaBille, right behind him with 1 tackle. So Golden Valley, really good on defense. They don't really give up a lot of points. They don't really give up a lot of points at all.
They're really underlooked. I mean, last year would they go to like the semifinals or the finals?
The
or something?
semifinals,
The
yeah.
semifinals.
Division
And then
6
this year
semifinals.
they were ranked in the top 5 for their division or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly think that this is, if a team can beat Valencia, that it would be Golden Valley. Don't think they will, but I think
You think it'd be Golden Valley?
I think
It
they're
could
the
be.
I think it would be
second-best team.
hard if anybody.
I think Golden Valley's.
I think Hart just like historically has just been more talented than any other team aside from Valencia. So, and I think this year there's no exception. JT Shrout, Zach's in love with him.
He's a
he's
great
He's the
quarterback.
next Jared Goff.
He's got the physique. He's built like a great,
So a bad first year.
I know. I'm
good-
just giving you a hard
good
time.
second
I
year.
agree. He's also very good.
boy. COC Athletics, the women's soccer team wins with a late free kick by Haley Phipps. The Lady Cougars are now 8-2 on the year with a 2-game winning streak. They'll be playing LA Pierce College this Friday at home. Game time is at 5:30 if you're in the area.
That should be good.
Check out a great Lady Cougars team.
Undefeated at home.
Undefeated at home.
What's the record? They've lost like 2 games.
8-2
Yep.
on a 2-game winning streak. Women's volleyball, the Lady Cougars are 11-4 so far, and they'll ride their 3-game winning streak into Glendale tonight. Game time is at 6.
Today? Oh, it's
Yes.
at Glendale though.
Mm-hmm. It's at Glendale though.
I should
So
just cut out early and go home and watch that.
why not? If you're
Hey.
in the Glendale area and you want to see a great women's volleyball team, why not check out the Cougars?
Boom.
COC, home of the great athletics. Football's on a bye week. They'll be back obviously next week. Andrew Brito was last week's player of the week, I believe, for what was it? The Western State Conference? Or
I think so.
He's player of the
regardless,
week somewhere. He's a great player.
He has been like
Yeah.
2 or 3
Yeah, it's the
times
second
already.
time this year.
they will be playing at Ventura, which starts conference play Thursday, October 12th.
That'll be that'll be one of their
Thursday.
Tougher games, yeah. Ventura's
They're
always a
ranked
good team.
11th right now.
They are.
in the
Yep,
state.
11th in the state.
Good.
And the
They're like
only-
6th in their
only loss
division.
they have is to the number 1 team, who they didn't
Yes.
lose to by that much. So
And let it be known that the Cougars are undefeated on the road. They're 1-1 here at home and 3-0 on the road. So they're great road warriors. Road
Alright,
warriors.
That's a hard thing to say. Road Warriors.
oh yeah, bro.
Yeah,
Say
there
that
you
4
go.
times fast.
Road warriors.
Don't do
road,
it.
Road warriors. Moving on, we had some great baseball action last night, guys. The
Yeah.
postseason is underway. I know you're a little upset because
was
it's
okay.
the Yankees and you're a Rays fan, Taylor. Very impressive win by the Yankees bullpen. Not Luis Severino. Luis Severino, 1/3 of an inning. He gave up 3 runs, 2 home runs in the first inning in the 8-4 win for the Yankees. Aaron Judge, Brett Gardner, and Didi Gregorius.
Sir
Didi Gregorius. He's actually been knighted
By who?
Sir.
When did that happen?
from his
From where
his-
he's from?
his home
Yeah.
country.
We're in America. He's just Didi
I'm
Gregorius
sorry,
here.
Mr. Trump.
Whoa, okay.
We're
shutting that down.
Yeah. The bullpen for the Yankees, 8 2/3, gave up 1 run. Like I said, Severino, 1/3 of an inning. A big issue if you're Joe Girardi. That's your ace right there. You're going to be facing the best team in baseball in the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah, but the Twins' offense is nothing to be sure, Severino did not have a great performance, but the Indians' offense, I'm not surprised they did that against him. You know,
But it's been said that
they had Twins' offense. My bad.
it's been said that the Yankees are really the only team that could beat the Indians. If that were to happen.
Either
Astros
Boston
could
or
beat 'em,
Astros
too.
can beat them.
I would pick the Indians to come out of the AL.
It's just so easy for me to predict that the Indians are just going to lose one because it's just everyone's saying, "Oh, just the Indians easy shoe-in for the World Series right now," and I don't think so. Even though they are really good, but
And in
Do you
case
think
you,
they should be the favorite?
I think they are the favorite. But I think it's just so easy for me to just like if I was a betting man, I would easily bet on the Astros over the Red Sox.
and we talked about this on Monday. We both said that we favored the Astros. That's probably going to be a great championship series if it is Astros and the Indians, but we can't tell.
yeah,
Baseball gods
baseball
play
is
a very tricky game. And in case you missed it yesterday, Richard, can you cue this up for me? Didi Gregorius' 3-run homer. In case you missed
3-0 Twins. Yankees
sounds of the
threatening.
game.
And the pitch rocked to right field. Tie game.
Just an absolute shot off the bat.
that made me sad.
That thing was gone right off the
Yeah,
bat.
it
We
was.
knew. And then, of
So
course,
was
all
Judge's.
rise
No,
for Mr. Aaron Judge.
Did
The
he- okay, I'll ask after.
no doubt about Rookie of the Year and possibly no doubt MVP. And the guy, if he wasn't on the Yankees, they wouldn't be on the playoffs.
True.
Judge had a monster shot. It was more like a line drive to left. Richard, can you cue that up for us?
Line to left field and deep. Gone. Aaron Judge with a 2-run homer.
52 home runs in the regular season.
Does he win MVP?
Yeah.
Tanner,
Probably.
I'm an Altuve fan.
You know, Tim was the biggest anti-Aaron Judge fan, and
Yeah,
yesterday,
I'm also an anti-Aaron
yesterday
Judge fan.
he was like, "Yeah, I got to admit, Aaron Judge is probably deserves
I mean,
the
he will
MVP."
probably win MVP just because people like to look at home runs and say, "Wow, he hit 50 of those." But Altuve has been the best player in the American League, I think.
Hitting wise, yes.
It's just the hype around Aaron Judge will carry him to this MVP, but I disagree. Also, I'm a Rays fan, so I have to
You
disagree.
hate the Yankees.
I mean, I'm a journalist right now, so I don't hate the Yankees. But off the record, yes, I hate the Yankees.
Off the record.
Off the record, but he said it on the record.
No, he didn't. Said what?
Who said what?
Yeah.
So the matchup's already set, Yankees and Indians. Another wild card game tonight, the NL wild card, the Rockies and the Diamondbacks. Winner of that will play the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Prepare to see more runs tonight than last night, I think.
Really?
This could be a real offensive game. These two teams, really high-powered offenses. Zach Greinke will be on the mound for the Diamondbacks. They'll be facing John Gray. Tanner, I think do you have the stats for each team against each player? Yeah. So looking at the Diamondbacks against Gray, let's see, Goldschmidt not doing a whole heck of a lot. Just 11 at-bats, 0 for 11.
1 RBI.
Chris Iannetta batting .500 against John Gray. J.D. Martinez, a .333 with a few home runs. J.D. Martinez had quite a September.
Just dingers.
Just
Quite a-
dingers.
Quite a series against the Dodgers.
Yeah, quite a
that's what-
series against the Dodgers. He hit, 4 home runs in one game? Yeah.
JD.
Absolutely amazing. David Peralta, 462 in 13 at-bats. A.J. Pollock, a 429. And then some notable better hitters against Greinke on the Rockies lineup. Jonathan Lucroy, a 636. 636. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's over 500.
Mm-hmm.
What a stud. And then we got Charlie Blackmon at 265. And Charlie Blackmon, probably the best leadoff hitter in all of baseball.
Yeah.
DJ LeMahieu over 300. You always got Nolan Arenado at,
Trevor Story.
Trevor Story. He's batting 333. Another guy I think that's going to be very interesting for the Rockies, for them to win, is Carlos Gonzalez. He had quite a terrible year,
He did.
but
I forgot about Carlos Gonzalez until you just said his name.
He has
But he-
5 home runs off of
Greinke.
Well, it's because that was when Greinke was on the Dodgers and he'd go to Colorado and he would just
Yeah.
free win because it's the Dodgers.
And
Stop it right now.
this is probably going to be the most interesting wild card game in the last few years. Because the winner of this game,
Wait, last year was the Blue Jays and the Orioles, and that one was insane.
I think this is a better game.
It might
Because
be.
the winner of this game,
Plays the Dodgers.
and they can beat the Dodgers. These two teams can beat the Dodgers.
I agree. Who's going to win?
I'm going to go with the Diamondbacks. Yeah, Diamondbacks. Tanner?
I think the Diamondbacks will win because they have better pitching.
Yeah.
Not because their offense is better. I think the Rockies' offense is better.
Yeah.
we'll
I can
find
see
out.
that, but I feel like, I don't know, Jonathan Gray's not on the level of Greinke,
Exactly.
You know.
They're two different types of pitchers.
The Rockies are overperformed this year because obviously no one expected them to be this good. Like going back to March, April, and their pitching overperformed expectations from March, April. They're obviously good players now, but they don't have that ace. You know, they don't have that guy they can just throw out there and be like, "You can win us the game," like Greinke.
Yeah. So I'm assuming you're going with the Diamondbacks.
I picked the Diamondbacks. Yeah.
Okay.
Richard, who are you picking?
Richard, what do you
Diamondbacks,
say?
Rockies.
You say Diamondbacks or Rockies, Richard?
All right.
Rockies,
Ooh, upset.
okay.
Contrarian.
George, what do you got? Diamondbacks or Rockies?
Rockies.
Ooh.
Rockies.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
We got three
you can
Diamondbacks
tell
and
who
two
watches
Rockies.
baseball here.
I am rooting for the Rockies. I'm rooting for
But
the
you
Rockies.
said the Diamondbacks.
But I think the
Okay.
Diamondbacks.
Yeah,
will
I'm
win.
also rooting for the Rockies.
Yeah.
I'd like
I think
to see the
Dodgers have a
Rockies
shot
too.
against
Yeah.
the Rockies. I think
Yeah.
I would honestly, even though I'm a Dodgers fan, would favor the Diamondbacks in a series against the Dodgers.
The Diamondbacks and the Dodgers are arguably the two best pitching teams in all of the National League. So that'd be a very interesting series, and it could backfire on the Dodgers.
Do you know what the Nationals pitchers look like?
Yes, the Nationals have a great rotation, but
And Scherzer has some great eyes.
beautiful set of eyes.
That's so right.
He's got
Sure,
two different
but
color eyes.
But I think Scherzer's really
That's
the
why
only
he's
weapon.
so good because batters get distracted while
Yeah.
looking at his eyes.
That's
One,
why.
one's a beautiful
Has
color,
nothing
and,
to do with
and
how
the
he
other
throws
is
the
just
ball.
a look of mass evil. Like he'll strike you
Alright.
out.
He
So
pierces you.
I'm the tiebreaker, and it's split 50-50, and I picked the Diamondbacks.
I
so
said the
there we
Diamondbacks
go.
too. So
All right.
moving on, this is something we haven't talked about yet in bread and butter history.
At all.
Let's do it.
I wonder why.
But we
It's
should-
It's game 5 of the WNBA finals. And this is a great story. The LA Sparks and the Minnesota Lynx. Of course we want our LA teams to win.
Let's do it.
Except
why'd you
Taylor.
make that face,
The
Taylor?
only
I'm not a
LA
Lakers
team
fan.
he likes is this isn't the Lakers.
This is the
Lakers,
Sparks,
bro.
I know,
hello.
but they both play in Staples Center.
Come on, Sparks,
So it's like-
Chargers. Huh?
Huh?
Come on, You're rooting
Sparks
for the
are
Sparks
flying.
now.
You're a little red. You're a little red around the face.
That's so dumb.
The Lynx are looking to capture their 4th title in 7 seasons, and the Sparks are trying to be the first team since 2002 to repeat.
I think they were the last team to repeat.
Yeah, they were
weren't
last in the
Mhm.
repeat too.
When they had
With,
Lisa
said
Leslie,
Lisa
The,
Leslie.
one of the all-time greats in WNBA history.
The Lynx have been in the championship like the last 6 years or something.
Since 2011.
Since 2011,
Yeah.
they've been in the finals.
That's crazy. Like
That's
name a
crazy,
sport where
bro.
they do that.
LeBron James.
Yeah.
He's about
LeBron
to do
James
it
has been in
again.
the finals
Okay,
every year.
I'm talking about a
since, like,
team.
Yeah, he's been in every year since 2010.
Okay, but he was on the Heat though.
so
Team.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Sorry.
he is the team.
I
I
mean,
misunderstood.
basketball is a sport like that. Yes, but like
He is.
I don't even think
team.
the Yankees did that when there were like 6 teams in Major League Baseball.
Oh, well.
It's crazy. That's,
It is-
that's
it's-
historic.
That is pretty historic for a franchise.
But there's
to do it.
12 teams in the WNBA.
Really?
So it's a little bit more
Still.
understandable. Yeah.
It's still
There's
hard
12
though.
teams
yeah.
in the CFL, and I don't think that happens that often.
Oh. Well, the CFLs, you know.
CFL is really fun to watch. I recommend it.
Regardless, game 5. It's like game 7
And you said that game's tonight.
tonight.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, tune in tonight.
And root for your LA Sparks.
Who's
Boom.
at home on this one?
Yeah, flip between this
Sparks.
game and the
Sparks
wild
are
card
at
baseball
home?
game.
The game is.
I want to say the Lynx are at home because they had the best record.
Let's do a fact check on
I
that.
want to say it's the Lynx at home.
For those who don't know, a lynx is like a cat, right?
Yes.
It's a type of cat.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
See, I was
Yeah,
just throwing out
it is
facts
in
and I didn't even know.
Minneapolis
Good
tonight.
job, Taylor. I'm so proud of you.
The game
Classic.
is in Minneapolis.
It's a 7-game series, still, right?
It's a
No,
5 game.
five.
Really?
It's so this is like game
It's game
7.
seven.
This is it.
This is it.
This is for the
Why do they play less
championship.
games?
Well, I mean,
don't-
because you know,
they only have like 30 or so regular season games.
I guess because there's less
It's just
teams.
a shorter team.
Yeah.
You know, less teams, and I don't know. I mean, you could still make a 7-game series, I guess, but maybe it's just like about viewership or something.
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
yeah,
It's easier to get people to watch 5 games instead of
that, yeah.
you know.
it'd be quite a turnout tonight. Moving on, SC to the national scale.
Dun, 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 dun,
They'll be
dun.
playing Oregon State this week. USC looking to bounce back from a road loss to Washington State. Sam Darnold, he fell to 5th in the quarterback rankings.
The quarterback index according
Index.
to NFL.com.
He
And I
has
remember
to have
last
a
week we
huge
were all
season.
talking about was USC's trap game.
Yeah,
you know, and
everyone
Taylor mentioned that they don't perform well on Friday nights, and another.
and on the road.
They don't.
Everyone on this podcast saw this coming.
Yeah,
Which
We
is,
all saw it.
we
coming.
should
I kept calling trap game.
we should write into ESPN or something and be like,
Hey,
"Can I have a show, please?"
But a lot of
We
people
need a
saw
show.
this coming. I mean, it was pretty close if you watch like just sports.
I'm sure if we looked at the spread before the game, USC
No,
was
I'm
favored.
just saying like
but
people picking.
Yeah.
Like people picking. A lot of people
Yeah.
did pick Washington.
Yeah, a lot of
State.
ESPN people also had Washington. And then I want to get you guys' opinion on this because we all had Sam Darnold, you know, not saying that he was going to win the Heisman, but definitely he should be in the talks. But 9 touchdowns, but then 8 picks. What do you guys feel about that?
He
not
should
good.
not be in the Heisman.
He-
talk.
I don't even have him in the Heisman.
Yeah, he
talks
can't be in the
anymore.
Heisman with 8 interceptions at all.
No.
no,
Or
there's
9 touchdowns compared to everyone else.
Yeah, true.
and there's a lot of hype surrounding Sam Darnold. A lot of teams are starting to tank. That's what we're going to get into in just
That's
a
later,
bit.
yeah.
And there's a lot of better quarterbacks out there than Darnold right now.
I agree.
Josh Rosen,
Statistically,
Yeah.
statistically,
Hey, even Luke Falk from Washington State,
Yeah, he's
played
balling.
great.
I think by the end of it though,
He became the
he played
second
really.
all time in
passing yards.
Touchdowns.
Yeah,
At
he
Washington
played
State.
great,
At Washington-
bro.
he's-
He's the
FBS,
leader
yeah.
at Washington State.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because
Yeah.
he played. This is his 4th year playing.
He passed Marcus Mariota.
Hey, but he
Later in the
looked composed throughout the game. Like
Mhm.
Washington
Yep.
State looked like if they were USC, like, oh, y'all coming into our house, they had the swagger, the confidence. I'm just wondering how USC is going to react to this definitely in the national polls. I mean, they got an Oregon State team that's coming in with 1-4, so they should take care of that at
Yeah.
home.
it should be an easy win for SC, but
I'm expecting a huge day from Sam.
Hey,
Darnold.
Oregon
Yeah.
State is allowing on average 46 per game.
Yeah,
so
they're-
Darnold, you got to get 50. No excuses.
Oregon State is close to last in the FBS in every defensive
Almost
category,
everything.
and USC
They're-
is 23rd in total offense, 36 in your average yards per game.
And the defense from Oregon State is also allowing basically 500 yards per game. They're at 490 right now. So with
There's
Ronald Jones
Doesn't
and
Darnold
Steven
have like 500 yards in the season?
He's got 1,389,
1,389.
65% completion percentage.
He does pretty good in the fourth quarter.
He's
I
not
mean, I know
bad.
he
The only
fumbled,
number
but, like,
that
it's-
is concerning is interceptions.
Yeah, it's like
Which is a
interception
bad
ratio.
thing to have a lot of, but he's
Yeah.
not as awful as
Because
like,
I mean,
I
even-
think
doesn't
he's.
he have like a handful of rushing touchdowns too?
I think he's got 2.
Yeah, he has like a couple, like 3 or 4.
No, because he had
I
2
think he-
alone in
Yeah.
the Washington.
I think he has
State
like
game.
3 or 4
Okay.
for the season. But that could be a thing too.
And
But
then the
I
rest
mean,
of,
that's overlooked though. Like as far
yeah.
as like that should come into play with touchdowns.
Honestly, I don't even know what we're talking about. This USC's going to stomp Oregon State. Like Oregon State's so bad on defense.
True.
And then the rest of the USC's rushing attack, Ronald Jones has 450 yards on the year, 6 touchdowns. Stephen Carr, 309 yards, 3 touchdowns. Deontay Burnett, 500 yards receiving, 5 touchdowns. Deontay Burnett and both Stephen Mitchell are up close to tops in Pac-12 in receiving stats. So
Yeah.
SC's offense is looking good. Their defense is, It's a little shaky.
It's a little shaky.
Well, that brings us to the battle for Darnold now, because
Mhm.
the hype for Sam Darnold is always going to be there. Always is going to be there because he's been
Just because how good he looked last
Just
year.
like
it's because
mechanically,
he
yeah.
fundamentally he's
It's like the Trubisky thing.
he looks like a solid playmaker.
I mean, honestly though, I would still say like he's probably, obviously he's not doing as good as
He'd
Everyone
expect.
everyone
else.
thought. But I mean, I still think that at the end of the season, he will play like for the rest of the year. He'll play much better than he started the year.
We can only hope.
I think he will. I have faith
yeah.
in him that he'll play better. Maybe not Heisman level, maybe not number 1 overall in the draft, but I still think he'll play a lot better.
The battle for Sam Darnold starts this Sunday. And what I mean by that is the Chargers and the Giants are both 0-4. They play each other this week. Really, the loser of this game could end up tanking and take Darnold.
I don't see the Giants tanking to pick a quarterback. Though.
I don't think so.
I don't see both franchises.
The
doing
Chargers.
that.
I hope they pick a quarterback.
I don't think the Chargers will tank, but it
Yeah.
will definitely look like it on their record.
I mean, they're already tanking on accident.
And then another team I want
Well,
to
so are the Giants.
highlight interested in the tanking for Darnold,
The Darnold sweepstakes.
the Darnold sweepstake, the Niners.
They will pick a quarterback.
Yeah.
That's-
what they're
I could
trying
see
to
Darnold
do.
actually.
That's
winning.
a
You keep
perennial
calling
fit.
it like the tank for Darnold thing. I don't even think it's Darnold anymore. I think it's Falk or Rosen
And
or
we were-
Mayfield.
The tank for Mayfield.
Yeah.
Why not petition for the tank for Mayfield?
I'm
But
taking
we
Mayfield.
talked about this before the show. We said it was very similar to the Andrew Luck scenario. Darnold's a redshirt sophomore, and Andrew Luck played all 4 years at Stanford. He had that great year when he had 30 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, something like that, and he stayed.
He did.
And eventually he was the number 1 pick. Does Darnold stay the remainder of his USC course?
I don't think so.
This is final
It's
year.
a conversation because the reason Andrew Luck stayed is because he was in that stacked draft class, which at the time was stacked, but it turned out not to be so good. Cam Newton, Jake Locker, Christian Ponder, Blaine Gabbert, all those quarterbacks, and Andrew Luck didn't really like. There was potential for his draft stock to fall because of all the other.
He wouldn't have been number 1.
Cam Newton would have been number 1.
Always.
And then so there's that conversation this year where Sam Darnold's having an off year. And, Rosen, Falk, Mayfield, Lamar Jackson,
Mason
Rudolph, Browning, Josh Allen.
I still don't see more than like 1 or 2 guys going ahead of Darnold, though.
I think
just because
all
of
of the
how-
guys I
how
just said have
people
potential to
evaluate.
go to hand of Darnold. There's stuff that happens at the combine
Like,
that
to
makes
me,
people go
Lamar
way high.
Jackson is playing a lot better, but I don't think there's any way that a team is going to say, "Oh, I want him over
I think there is.
over Darnold."
I kind of agree with Tanner there.
I don't think they will.
Yeah,
just
I
because
don't-
of playing style and how the
Yeah.
NFL's going, I don't think they will. I think you can look at it and say, yeah, he could easily be a better player than him, but it's a safer pick. I don't think
Is it 8
I think
interceptions
so.
in 5 weeks?
But
I just
you-
think
all you
I
have to
just
go
think
off
it's
of-
one of those.
I mean,
like,
look at
rough
look at
starts,
Todd Gurley. When he got hurt at Georgia, he still was the number 1 running back. He
but
didn't
got
play in his
hurt
last
towards
year.
the end of the season.
I think it was earlier. I want to say it was like the middle.
No, it was.
and he still.
It was over halfway.
But I
I
mean,
mean, I don't
still,
know, we
like,
could-
he
we could-
still did because people reference his year before that.
I mean, Sam Darnold did have a good year last year. That is there. But when the quarterback class is this stacked, I think
I think he
the
wants
potential
to get paid.
for him. I mean, he will get paid either way. I think.
Not legally, not if he stays in college.
I mean, he's going to go to the NFL.
No, he will. But I'm saying you have to wait a year, or do you want to go now?
And I actually already been seeing some. It was just like some little skits from Barstool Sports of Jets fans basically mad that they're winning games because they want to tank for Darnold. So
They have Darnold jerseys.
yeah,
They already,
I've seen that
they
too.
already have Darnold jerseys.
yeah. So it's just
Well,
funny
maybe
to
it's a
see
good
that.
thing that Darnold is also tanking because the Jets are winning.
Don't expect the Jets to win. I mean, they could end up
I didn't
losing
expect the Jets to win any games
Yeah.
this year.
I thought the
Hey,
Jets and the Giants would be
but,
kind of switched. Right
to
now.
stay on a little bit of college football. I kind of want to follow with I don't want to know if this is Taylor's team, but San Diego State, man, 5-0,
Yeah,
number 19.
we talked about this on Monday. It's mostly because they play in the Mountain West.
They're going to be
Yeah.
playing a UNLV team, which is nothing to shout about.
Right.
But San Diego State,
They're still winning though. They're
Yeah.
they're beating their
They're
opponents.
winning
They're in front of them. That's all we ask.
They're right behind USC right now in the rankings.
Hey,
so.
Penny's balling.
Rashard Penny, yeah.
Still.
He's got second in the FBS in yards, tied for 10th in touchdowns with 7, and has 2 receiving touchdowns.
Is Bryce Lovely?
Bryce Love has the most yards. Yeah.
I was actually glad to catch a little bit of that game in San Diego as well. So
Oh,
with
yeah?
some Aztec
Did you go to
fans.
the game?
No, I was like really close to it. But yeah, so San Diego State's been playing really well. They're 5-0 going against a UNLV team that is 2-2. Another little interesting game, guys. We got Michigan State traveling to Michigan for that rival game.
in the big house.
I think that
Big
it loses a little
house.
bit of the flair because Michigan State's not
Michigan is ranked 7, 4-0. You got Michigan State at 3-1. They're not ranked at the moment. I like Michigan in the big house.
Michigan State always has the potential to upset everybody. Like I feel like all the big upsets that I can remember in recent year are just Michigan upsetting like Ohio State or Michigan. I think they upset like Notre Dame a few
I don't
weeks
think
ago.
they upset Michigan. When
I don't
know they
remember.
beat them, but
this is in like the last 5 years.
yeah, because
this was in the downward
It's just
for
whenever I think
Michigan.
of upsets, I think of like at least 2 times with Michigan State,
with Connor Cook.
Yeah.
Connor Cook, and I think Kirk Cousins maybe.
Yeah. Eden, we were talking about Lamar Jackson. Louisville, number 17, has to go on the road to face NC State, ranked at 24. One thing that impressed me about Jackson that he's leading the team, obviously in passing, but he's also leading Louisville in rushing. He's just real dual dimension, multi-dimension quarterback. Get it out the pocket. Now, where do you guys think Lamar Jackson goes in the NFL draft? Do you think he's a first-round pick
No, I don't
Second
think
No.
with his play style?
Second round.
Lamar Jackson, he's definitely hyped But Lamar Jackson's arguably, not even arguably, he's the best running quarterback.
Yeah, dude.
He's better at running than
he is
Baker
passing.
Mayfield, but I think Baker Mayfield is just a better quarterback that can run
Yeah.
than Lamar Jackson.
And I wouldn't be surprised if
also-
I see Lamar Jackson switch to wide receiver.
Lamar Jackson
right.
also doesn't he doesn't play he doesn't win the games at the high level like Baker Mayfield does.
Well, I mean, Louisville's played, I feel like, most of their games against ranked opponents.
Yeah, Louisville's had
And
a
they've
tough
won them.
But
schedule.
I'm talking like top 10 matchups.
They lost to Clemson. Okay, but they
They
played a
have
good
another.
game.
Well, no. What
And
did
they're
they go
playing
last
NC
year?
State.
What was their record last year?
I don't know.
They
Richard,
lost
can
a
you
few
look that
Talking
up?
about this year.
Louisville Cardinals.
They were in the top
26.
25.
I guess what I'm trying to say is they've never been like a threat. Like, man, this team can win it all.
True.
And I think
'Cause they
that's
always have
to
that one
me like
loss.
Baker Mayfield. He
Okay.
has been multiple times with Oklahoma. You thought, well, maybe they could sneak into the playoffs. I've never thought that with Louisville.
If I could add, Louisville, this is the only ranked opponent that they're facing, other than Clemson. NC
yeah?
State. NC State's ranked 24, and NC State can pull off upsets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but they play
yeah.
Florida
And they're at
State.
home.
They could lose that game.
Louisville does?
Yeah, they could. I'm not saying
they
they will,
could,
but
yeah.
I'm saying that's not a.
They could, but Florida State is a very underachieving team this year because they lost their
first two
their
games.
they
And their
yeah,
quarterback.
and they lost Francois, their
Who
best quarterback.
also is in the conversation to be a top ranked quarterback going
I think
into
he
the
might
draft.
come back now.
I mean, he'll probably come back. But I'm saying, like, if that didn't happen, that's another quarterback that Darnold and everyone else is to think
He's
of.
still not the best quarterback that Florida State's had.
Uh-huh. Yeah, E.J. Manuel is.
No, he's not either. How many national championships does he have?
Richard gave us their schedule last year. Louisville Cardinals 9-4. This was Lamar Jackson's Heisman year. They beat Florida State 63-20 at home.
I remember that game.
They lost to Clemson by a touchdown in Clemson.
But that
They-
was national champions, Clemson.
Yes, and they beat NC State last year at home. This game is at NC State.
Who else did they lose to?
They lost to Houston.
Whoa, why?
They lost to
That was a good
Kentucky.
Houston team. That was a good Houston team.
And they
were
played.
solid
They
that
lost
year.
to Kentucky, who they finished their season with.
They lost to Kentucky and they lost to LSU. So they finished 0-3 in the last three
We
games.
forgot to bring up Troy beating LSU at LSU this past Saturday. That was a big
I'm over
upset.
LSU. This
LSU's not good.
If you're
Honestly,
yeah.
aside from Georgia and Alabama, the SEC is not as good as they usually are.
Yeah, you're right about that one.
And if you're Ed Orgeron or even Butch Jones from Tennessee, you're in the hot seat.
Yeah.
I
Agreed.
feel like if you're always in the hot seat if you're in the SEC if you're not Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Or Dabo's. Oh, that's it. That's ACC.
Yeah, that's
But they play very well against SEC opponents.
I think the ACC this year is more competitive than the SEC. The Pac-12 is the most competitive.
Yeah.
That would be a more solid choice. That would be a more solid choice right there.
Big Ten, eh?
yeah,
Yeah.
Big Ten and Pac-12, has some good teams this year.
Want to know what's super confusing? The
What's
Big
that?
12 has 10 teams and the Big Ten has 12 teams.
Why not do a
They
little
couldn't change the
switcheroo?
name
Hey,
because
that's actually,
it's confusing.
That's a good observation.
Because I mean, it was Pac-10 and then they changed
Yeah.
it to
Pac-12.
Pac-12, but they
But then
can't
if you
change it.
switch, then you're like, wait, what's happening?
They can't. They have to change. They have to completely change.
and the
their
Middle
name.
America Conference already exists, so you can't do that.
Other notable games this week include Alabama and Texas A&M. Should be.
That's Texas A&M always gives them a good run for their money.
But Johnny's gone.
Johnny is
but
gone.
there's no Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, not this Texas A&M though.
I mean,
Oh,
even when
thanks, Al.
Tannehill was there, you
Not
know?
this one, brother.
Washington State and Oregon. Washington
Ooh.
State jumped
and actually,
up the poll
I
a little
believe
bit.
Oregon Ducks are going in 5-0 in this one. I might be mistaken.
I think
Or
they
or
lost
one loss,
somebody.
solo loss.
Stanford and Utah. That's a big win.
Utah's undefeated.
Bryce Love had 300
over under
yards.
250 yards for Bryce Love.
I'm gonna
this
say
game.
under,
Under.
but I'm gonna say over 200.
Yeah, okay, I agree. So, okay, who has a better week of the three running backs to get national attention?
Okay,
I'm gonna
let's do
say
it.
Penny, Barkley.
I'm gonna say Penny because of who he's playing.
Who's Penn State play?
Northwestern.
Northwestern.
I mean, Northwestern's way better than UNLV.
True.
I mean, Penn State's on
But
another.
Penn State's better
Penn
than
State's
San
on
Diego
another
State.
level.
Yeah,
than,
like their offensive line is completely different.
I'm still gonna say
Barkley.
Rashad Penny.
Yeah,
I'll still
I like-
say yardage wise, I think he does have the best game.
Okay.
I think Barkley.
But I think,
think Bryce Love.
I think that they all have a good game. But I think I don't know. Even if they have more yards, I still don't think they're better running backs than Saquon Barkley.
True.
I say Bryce Love. I agree with Taylor. Bryce Love.
It's a bigger game. You got to show
Yeah,
up.
there's a lot on the line here.
but
If you're Stanford,
Utah's not. They have the
The
toughest
thing
game.
about San Diego State that bugs me is they share the backfield a lot with Washington.
right?
Like, they'll blow out their
Yeah.
opponent and they're like, all right, put Washington in. Penny's got 150 yards. Let's take him out.
The least amount of yards he's rushed for this year is 160.
Penny?
Bryce Love.
Oh, yeah. That was against USC, right?
It was against USC.
It was against USC.
Jeez, way to contain him. My goodness.
Oh, yo,
So I Love.
Another little matchup. You got 13 Miami traveling to Florida State, facing them at 1-2 unranked.
See, normally that
In
would be a good
Tallahassee.
game. But
I
Florida State
still
sucks
think
this year.
I still think that Florida
I
State
got
could
Florida
win.
State in this one.
I think Florida State probably should win,
I
but
got
I don't
Florida
think they
State.
will.
You
I got
guys see
Florida State.
Miami's turnover chain?
I did not.
They have a big
They have
chain,
a
a
big-
gold
yeah.
chain
Oh, yeah.
with the U on it every time
I
you
saw that
force a
on week
turnover.
1. Has it been around
They
since?
were talking to what's his name, the coach, Mark Wright.
I don't know.
But yeah, they
Oh,
they
from
can't-
Georgia, right?
No,
Or he coached at Georgia?
Miami's he did, but he's Miami's coach now. But they said like, how do you feel about it? He's like, well, they literally came up to me like an hour before the game and just told me this thing was happening. So I
Wait,
kind of
say it
just
again?
had to agree.
Mark
Mark Rick. They came up to him
Uh-huh.
to tell him about how they were going to start this whole tradition with the turnover chain. And it was like an hour before the game, and they just came up to him and told him that it was going to happen. And so he didn't really get
Way
us.
to have control
It
of
was
your
kind of
team.
just like, well, I
right.
guess. I mean,
got it.
now it's a fun thing with the team,
Yeah.
but he's like, the only thing that worries me. He was talking on the Dan Lebitard show. He's like, the only thing that worries me is people kept taking their helmets off on the field to get because they know they're going to get the chain. It can't fit around their helmet.
Yeah.
And I've gotten like 3 warnings from referees that they have to wait till they get off the sideline.
That's funny.
Can hurt
Pretty
him.
good. I like it. Good stuff.
Moving on to the National Football League.
Football.
Football Americano.
Thursday night, Tanner.
Tanner, take it away.
The
Are you excited?
Buccaneers.
I am excited because
good
this
one.
is the first game I got to watch them this year
Oh.
because they're not televised. Or they are televised.
Not
They
here,
haven't
though.
been.
Are you off?
I am off.
Well,
Let's
he
go.
can watch it at work, too. He works at
Oh,
Buffalo
true.
Wild Wings.
I can't. It's hard to watch games there.
Yeah, I
You
feel
know?
because
You can't, like, appreciate the game, but you can, like, score watch. you
Yeah,
know?
but that's the thing. That's what I've been having to do. I actually get to sit down and watch the game.
Okay.
you
All right,
know?
but Tanner, real quick though, give me like your thoughts of this game
I
coming
think
in.
I
How
can-
you feeling about the Bucks?
I can see them putting up pretty good offensive numbers here, but I also see the Patriots doing the same.
It is in Foxborough.
No,
No, it's not.
No,
it's in
it's
Tampa.
Tampa Bay.
It's in Tampa.
It's
Damn
in
it,
Tampa.
Google. I take it from Google.
I don't know.
Like,
I mean, Jameis Winston had his best game so far last week.
against an 0-4 Giants.
I actually
It's an
think the
0-4
Bucks have a
Giants team.
pretty good shot at this one.
But that game's not that close if their kicker gets it together. I mean, they have like the worst luck with kickers. This is like the 4th year in
yeah,
a row.
luck.
Well, I mean, they've had like 4 different kickers each year. It's not like
Chargers
it's the
have had
same
3
guy.
different kickers each year.
Oh, here we go again.
Well, anyways, that game to me shouldn't have been that close versus the Giants. They should have finished a couple drives. They had to punt when they had a drive that they stalled. They had a 1st and goal on the 1-yard line and kicked a field goal. So, I mean, they got to
Chances
finish
like that, you got
drives.
to capitalize on,
Yeah.
especially against the Patriots.
I mean,
And the Patriots
I
have
mean,
the worst
look,
defense.
it was
It's a
only
close
2-point win against the Giants, but you gotta understand that you're facing a Giants team that week that came out with all the urgency in the world. They probably prepared the best they could, and they fell short. I like the Bucks because of their secondary. The Patriots' secondary worries me a lot. They look nowhere near the same at all.
The thing about their defense, though, is they're missing 2 of their starting linebackers and arguably 2 of their best players.
Right,
on
right,
defense.
the leaders.
So
And Patriots could easily be 1-3 right now if Houston would have finished them off.
Yeah.
You know, they could be.
Well,
You
say finished them off, but you gave Tom Brady like 2 minutes left.
yeah.
Ski up.
Well, that's what I'm saying is if they actually would have finished the job, like let's say they would have got the stop, they could be
You're not
1-3, and
I don't really think there's too many people that stop Tom Brady.
they could be 1-3, and also for them to open up their first 4 games, out of the first 4 games, 3 of them in Foxborough, and for them to drop 2 already, I think is pretty big. It's a big deal.
Who did they lose
It
to the
is.
Chiefs and the
And
Panthers?
the Panthers.
Already at home. and then they barely beat
That's
Houston.
two division leaders, by the way.
And they barely beat
Well,
Houston
I
by
mean,
3 at home.
the Panthers are the division
I'm just
leaders,
saying they're
but
good
I
teams
still
right
think
now.
that the Falcons are the best team in that division. I
Okay,
mean, they
I
lost
agree.
2 receivers mid-game, and
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I think Julio Jones is the best receiver in the
I'm
league.
thinking that
and
the
he was out.
the Patriots are going to be fine.
The Patriots still win the division to
Yeah.
me.
I don't
Because the
think it's
Bills
close.
don't keep up.
So
Keep it up. I mean, they did beat the Broncos.
it's
and
going to be.
Hey, I like how the Bills beat the Broncos. Either in the next week beat the Falcons
yeah,
on the
dude,
road.
the Bills are good.
that's
I
a-
think
that's a
they'll make a wild
solid-
card. I think.
I think they can make a wild card, but I don't think they win the division.
No, I mean, if Tampa Bay wins this game, I think they have a good shot to win the division.
I do. I mean, I think it's a winnable game just because I think the defense isn't that good for the
I'm a-
Patriots.
But I don't think your defense is
But-
that good.
I think they're better than the Patriots defense, but I also think that the Patriots offense is better than the Bucks offense.
Okay.
So, but
I just
Doug
wanna give
Martin
you guys
is coming back, so it's kind of hard. You never know what you're going to get with him. You can either have a great game or an awful game. There's really no in between with him. So,
And I just want to get you guys quick thoughts. I think after the Patriots started 2-2, don't you think the rest of the NFL is kind of just looking at this like, okay, we could get this team now?
no,
they
because
don't.
they started
'cause I feel
1-3.
Because I
and
feel
then
like
they said on to Cincinnati and went on to win a Super Bowl. So no, I am not worried about the Patriots at all. This is we said the same thing. We said, "Oh man, Jimmy Garoppolo's looking good."
But that's
they're
different,
1-3, and then all of a sudden they go on a huge tear and win a Super Bowl.
I think that's a little bit different because Brady was out.
No,
This
he
one-
wasn't
this-
out.
this one
no,
is-
he was
is
out because he
Brady-
got benched
No,
because
that's
he
what
was
I'm
playing
saying.
bad.
Okay, but either way, he was out. But this season's different because Brady's actually he's played all
But
4
what do you
games.
mean out? He wasn't. He was never like hurt or didn't play in a game.
Well, I mean,
he got
like,
benched.
suspended, like,
no.
or
That was the
tripping?
year afterwards.
Ah,
He was suspended the year afterwards when they were they went 3-1.
You're talking about last year?
Oh yeah, you're
When
right.
he was
you're
when he
right,
was
you're
He was
right.
suspended.
suspended
I got
last
confused,
year.
Yeah, and they still
I
went
got
3-1, and
yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo and Jacoby Brissett both won games starting.
Yeah.
But no, I'm saying the year they went 1-3,
Oh.
and
That
everyone
was
was saying
3
Brady's
years ago.
done. It was 2000. It was the
They beat
2014.
the Seahawks.
Yeah, and then everyone was like Brady's done. That's it. The era's
had him on
over.
fantasy team
They got to
that
put Garoppolo in, and then all of a sudden he went on a huge tear, and they
Yeah.
won the Super Bowl.
Okay, who are you picking?
I'm gonna just safe pick. I'll just go Pats.
I'll pick the
Even,
Bucks.
I like the Bucks though. I'm gonna go
going
Pats.
I think Mike
Bucks?
Evans has like 170 yards or something.
Mike Evans will have a good game.
I just
'cause he
can't
always
see the
does something
Patriots going
understand.
2-3.
Okay, but like just because you like look at the record,
I know.
it's just like I think the Buccaneers are better this game. Just look at the game. Don't look at the overall.
No, I
record.
know. I'm just saying. I just don't see him starting off 2-3.
If it's raining, I'm for sure going with the Bucks.
Yeah, they
All right.
played in a hurricane.
We're diving right into the picks.
Yeah.
We're diving right. Are you got the stuff ready, Richard?
Start off. So first round.
So
I'll go Pats on
He
this
said
one.
Patriots. George said the Patriots.
We got Bucks.
Taylor said the Buccaneers.
Tanner's gonna
Tanner.
go Bucks, right?
Buccaneers.
Zach, what about you?
Oh man, this is actually a very intriguing game because
Short week.
it's a short week for both teams. The Patriots, worst defense in the National Football League. Like you said, Doug Martin is coming back, and Doug Martin could have a good game.
he will.
Emphasis on could, and so could is it Jacquizz Rodgers? Or
I don't think he will because I think they've already kind of said Doug Martin is getting
he's getting the
prepared to
snaps?
get a heavy load this
Okay.
week. So
Jameis Winston on the year, 864 yards, 6 touchdowns. I'm going to go with the Patriots.
Okay.
I'm going to go with
Richard,
the
who you
Patriots.
Bucks.
You said the
Bucks?
Buccaneers?
Boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
What's the next game?
put some respect on
the
them,
next
mate.
game we will dive into is San Francisco and Indianapolis.
That's
Let's
a quick
let's
one.
just go with the picks.
That's a tank one.
You ready, Richard?
Let's do it.
Tanner?
Colts.
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 George?
I'm actually Colts too.
Richard.
He's gonna pick the Niners.
All right.
No way, I'm picking the Niners.
George or
George.
not George.
You want Niners, George? You
No,
want Niners?
Richard
Oh, no,
picked the
no, I'm
Niners.
Colts.
Okay.
Ain't
Richard
no way
picked
I'm
the
picking-
Niners,
Richard's
right?
the only one that picked the Niners.
All right.
He's the only one that picks the Niners, and he's gonna stay. It's gonna stay like that. I'll go with the Colts. Next game, Cincinnati and Buffalo. Buffalo with 2 great wins.
Where is it?
It's at Cincinnati.
It's at Cincinnati.
I'm going Buffalo.
I'm gonna go with Buffalo too. Cincinnati's been really underperforming this year. Buffalo 2 wins in a row versus great
You know
potential
what? No,
playoff
actually,
teams.
I'm gonna go with Cincinnati because they finally got the
the
offense
Browns.
clicking, but the offense was clicking.
I'm gonna pick Buffalo.
I'm gonna go Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, Buffalo.
I'm also gonna go Buffalo because I believe they got the confidence right now and they're playing solid football.
Richard says Cincinnati.
That a boy, Richard.
This actually might be a very interesting game, guys. Philadelphia and Arizona. Philadelphia leads the NFC East right now. Carson Wentz.
I think they cracked
Both
top 3
redhead
in,
Carsons,
They both.
Carson v. Carson.
Aw, that's cute.
and they're both birds.
The Eagles cracked top 3 in the power
Power
rankings.
rankings.
Yeah, they're really good.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles,
I have to go with the Eagles.
especially because they're home.
Battle of the Birds. I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Eagles, clean house crow. Oh wait, Richard, who are you picking?
It's a clean house. Eagles.
Zach Ertz,
Bread and butter.
Bread and butter, clean sweep.
Next, we
they
have
need to
the
feed
Chargers and the Giants.
Right.
So this is the opposite.
The battle of the O.
Taylor has a little bit of.
I have some stuff.
He's got
to
some
say.
stuff to say. Taylor, I want to open the floor
The
with you.
Chargers are 24th in the NFL in points per game.
Yeah,
That's not good. But
Let 'em know.
They're 5th in yards.
yeah.
So what that translates to is
Sam Darnold.
wait.
Josh Rosen.
Shut up.
So you're saying
What that means is you get the ball down the field a lot, and then
They don't
nothing
score.
happens. You don't score.
They kick
They
field
are
goals.
27th in the league in third down percentage.
Yeah, because didn't the Eagles only scored like 1 touchdown, but they had like 5 or 6 field goals or something like that, right?
I don't remember. I didn't really watch the game because I knew they were going to lose. 27th in the NFL in third down percentage with 35%. If you're converting 35% of your third downs, you're going to lose the game.
Chargers, like I feel like rooting for them, it like rips your heart out because all their games are so close.
Yeah, and then they
have
lose
a
in the last
chance.
second.
They have a chance, and then it's over.
I'm used to it.
And-
Last year, the Chargers ended the year first in interceptions. This year, they only have 1 interception in 4 games.
Okay,
So-
a little positive there.
That's negative.
that's negative.
1 interception in 4 games. Last year, this time, we had like 6 interceptions.
Whoa.
The positive, though, is Keenan Allen is 4th in the NFL in receiving yards, and Melvin Gordon has 5.5
it's
sacks.
week 5, and he's still not.
And he's
hurt.
not
You
hurt
say
yet.
Melvin
I have
Gordon
to
has
say
5.5 sacks.
Melvin Ingram has
Melvin
5.5
Ingram.
sacks.
Keenan Allen is
I
balling
think they
right
said
now.
since like 2014, he's only behind Von Miller and Khalil
Von
Mack.
Miller, Khalil Mack, and another person.
Oh, Chandler Jones.
Yeah,
Chandler Jones.
Chandler Jones.
Yeah.
But how on the flip side, the Giants are 30th in points per game and in rush yards.
I was going to say the one positive for the Chargers is they're probably coming into the one team that's more disappointing than they are.
The Giants are 22nd in the league on third down percentage with 37%, which is 2% higher than the Chargers. The Giants are 8th worst defense in points per game and 8th worst defense in yards per game. The Giants have 1 less interception than the Chargers this year, which is a big old goose egg.
I always like when Phillip and Eli play each other because they
It's only happened like
switch.
twice, I think.
I know, but just because they switch and stuff.
Yeah, they
Like
traded.
traded.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but Eli is 7th in the league in passing yards. So
But I mean, he's only got
If I'm the
6
Chargers-
touchdowns.
I'm definitely approaching this game with that run attack first. You then pass. I think Melvin Gordon's been playing a great season for you guys.
did you
can
watch
move
the
ball?
game last week?
A little bit of it, but I will say this though: the Giants are they're only rushing 60 yards per game.
Yeah, the Giants-
Their leading rusher
their
has
leading-
61
Their
yards.
leading rusher has
The
61
Giants are
yards on
30th
32
in
carries.
rush yards.
Melvin Gordon
That's
isn't
so
that
bad.
impressive either. 54 carries, 168 yards.
Yeah,
But
last
Phillip
week he had
Phillip
10
Rivers
carries,
and Eli
20 yards.
Manning are pretty identical with.
In
They both have
passing stats.
yeah.
60
I mean, I
Because-
feel like the
picks.
Chargers. You know that you can have a big day with Melvin Gordon.
Yeah.
With the
Especially
Giants,
against the Giants
it's like
defense.
we have to throw the ball to win. They have to.
Exactly. They have to.
But
So-
the Chargers secondary is looking not good. So.
But I mean, Melvin
I like
Ingram.
the Chargers in this one.
He might get a sack or two this game.
Melvin
Force
Ingram,
a
you
couple. Yeah, sorry. A couple
Joey Bosa is
turnovers.
going to get 2 sacks, I think.
Yeah, and you got Joey Bosa too. I mean,
Let's get to the picks. I know you said
gonna
Chargers.
go Chargers
George.
in
It's
this
in New York, by the way.
I'm gonna go with New York. Sorry, Taylor. I love
I
you.
think. See, like
That's
I,
why I'm
I
picking
thought
him
for like
this.
3 weeks in a row the Giants are just going to figure it out,
Me too.
and they just haven't. So I think the Chargers finally win.
Richard.
Giants.
Richard says
What
the
the heck? I
G-men.
thought we were friends.
I love you, but
Zach, I really want to talk about next.
Wait, Zach didn't pick.
Yeah, what you got?
Oh yeah, pick.
I'm going to go with the Chargers.
Ooh.
This is the actual game. And if
Did you
the,
pick the Chargers?
I picked the Chargers.
because if the Giants lose this game,
Oh, and 5.
it's Sam Darnold alert time.
I don't
Next-
think they're going to draft a
Next
quarterback.
game.
Darnold
Next game.
to
Next game.
Odell.
Next game. What's the next game you want to talk about, George?
I really want to talk about this Packers Cowboys. I think
Yeah.
this is about to be a
Packers
good
and
one,
Cowboys.
Yeah, it's in Dallas.
yeah. In Dallas.
We'll jump a little ahead of schedule. Packers and Cowboys. This is probably going to be the game of the week. Green Bay 3-1, 0-1 on the road. Dallas coming off a
2-2.
loss versus the
Los Angeles Rams.
potential NFC West winning.
That's a game we're going to talk about after this.
Yes. So, guys, Aaron Rodgers, he looks like the MVP.
Next game I will tell you who I think my MVP is. But
That's
Aaron Rodgers
today.
is looking good.
That's
What do you mean
today.
today?
We're gonna after our picks, we're gonna predict our MVP Super Bowl.
Yeah, we're
Rookie
gonna
of the
pick
Year.
our MVP Super
Let's
Bowl.
not get ahead of
a
schedule.
bunch of other stuff.
So Dak Prescott looks he
looked better last
he
year.
looked better last year. Not saying he had a
So did
completely bad
Ezekiel
game.
Elliott.
So
Yep.
did Ezekiel Elliott.
Zeke's looked better last year, but I don't think he looks bad by any means.
By the numbers, Aaron Rodgers has a 1,146 yards, 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Dak Prescott 941, 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. For me, this is a game where Dallas has to prove themselves.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to seriously claim the division and look like a threat to the Eagles, this is the game.
Yeah, if they win this game, they'll have a big boost in confidence and probably go on a run after this because the Packers
This is big. Well, they did beat the Packers last year in the regular season.
in the
didn't
regular
they?
season,
And then they
not in the
lost
playoffs.
The
Their
Dallas-
soul is probably still crushed from the playoff game.
The Cowboys don't have Sean Lee either.
I was gonna just
Yeah.
mention that. I think that's pretty big.
But the Packers right now don't really have a starting running back. So.
They don't have Montgomery.
I mean,
So-
he's not really a starting running back anyway.
But I
Yeah.
mean, you got Aaron Rodgers.
Rodgers
Rodgers.
They do.
And you have your
Um,
deep ball threats in Nelson and Cobb.
and Cobb and
Devontae
And
Adams.
think about this.
and they got
Packers-
Martellus Bennett.
Packers
and
get this. This would be
Question mark.
back-to-back home
Yeah.
losses on Dallas, which would be huge on
Yeah,
the
Dallas-
I
on
honestly
playoff indication.
always thought last year I was like, man, Dallas is not this good. Like when they went on that
you
huge
thought they
run,
overperformed.
I was like, they're not this good of a team. And then when they got to the playoffs and got bounced first round, I was like,
Well,
yeah, that's kind of how
I think Dallas's defense was way better last year.
yeah. Well, they lost like everyone. In
They
their
lost a
secondary.
lot of cornerbacks. I think like 2 or 3 cornerbacks
Lost
left.
Claiborne,
Safety.
and Barry Church, and
JJ Wilcox.
But Sean Lee not being in this one is pretty huge.
I'm
to
picking
me.
the Packers
That's
because
what's
Sean
gonna-
Lee isn't
yeah,
playing.
that's
I'm
what's gonna
picking the
lead me to
Packers just because I think they're a better team.
I'm going to go with the Packers as well. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to throw the ball all over Dallas. Richard, are you going with the bread and butter clean sweep? Oh yeah. He's going with the bread and
I
butter
would
clean
not be
sweep.
surprised if Dallas won. I want to say that. Like, I don't think it's a clean sweep, but just because over the first 4 games, Green Bay's looked better, and now we got the division-leading Los Angeles Rams
And the Seahawks.
coming in at home versus the Seahawks.
This is a good game.
I have
like
a lot of
this
stats
one.
for this one too.
Before I let you get to the floor, I know I always say this might be the game of the week for literally every game, but this really might be the game of the week.
Hey Taylor, which receiver do you think will have a big day for the Rams?
Robert Woods.
Robert
Oh,
Woods.
I
That's a
thought he was gonna
perfect
say the
lead-in.
Cooper Kupp.
I know it was a lead-in. My boy Cooper Kupp has had a good year.
He
He
had
had a
a
touchdown
great
last week.
touchdown last week.
But I think because Cooper Kupp's a slot receiver, going into the inside against the linebackers of the Seahawks is not favorable.
Seattle's actually favored to win this game.
This is probably the biggest test so
Seattle
far for Goff because
Did-
this is the best.
we
defense
said
he's
that literally
played.
3 weeks in a
But
row.
this is the best defense he's played.
I think the Redskins defense is the best defense he's played.
I don't think they're better.
I think the
than Seattle's
Redskins
defense.
actually are a better team than Seattle.
I don't think their defense is better than Seattle's defense.
Seattle gave up like a bunch of points to Tennessee. They almost lost to San Francisco.
I don't think that they're bad.
I don't think
they're good
Seattle's defense is better than Washington's.
I do.
What I really like for the Rams is Todd Gurley in this one. He's having a fantastic season.
Todd Gurley is second in the NFL in rush yards behind Kareem Hunt. He has 362.
He leads them in rushing and he leads the Rams in receiving.
Yeah,
It's a little fun fact there. Gurley doing a little bit of everything for them.
Todd
on offense.
Gurley has 4 touchdowns rushing and 3 receiving touchdowns.
I think he
Todd-
also leads the team in receiving yards.
Yeah, that's what he just said.
Oh,
Todd Gurley is the only non-kicker in the top 10 of points scored this year.
Oh dang! I didn't. Even, that's pretty good.
He scored
That's pretty
42 points for his
But
team.
his name's Todd, so he can't be that good.
He's pretty good.
I'm just kidding.
See how mad you get?
Taylor's
What
You're
does
so
Todd have
mad.
to do? I don't understand.
It was just a joke.
I don't like Todd Frazier, but
Now
He
what
sucks.
Now I want to talk about what did you guys think about the Rams beating the Cowboys in Dallas? I thought to me that was a statement win. I thought
mean,
like they might.
me and Richard and Zach figured it was going to happen. Like easy peasy, no big deal.
That was a big
I don't
win
think it
for the Rams defense and for Wade Phillips,
The
former head coach of the Cowboys.
The Rams are first
so.
in the NFL in points per game. They score the most points out of anyone in the NFL per game. But they give up the 5th most points per game.
Not what you're talking about.
The both teams do pretty good on third down, which is a good measure to see how good your offense is. Rams are 6th in the league in third down percentage. Seattle's 10th. the Seahawks do have a better defense. They are only giving up 19 points per game, and they're scoring 23. And the Rams' defense is pretty good. So we have that to look forward to. It's a good offense versus defense battle on both sides.
Jared Goff, yeah.
Jared Goff is 4th in the NFL in passer rating, so that's a big step up from last year.
Yeah. Do we believe in Goff yet, guys?
I've never stopped believing in Goff. Even
I've
last
never
year.
doubted Jared Goff. he had terrible coaching.
Week 1, you were like, Jared Goff's awful. Tank for Sam Darnold.
No, I didn't.
I didn't have any faith in Goff coming into the year.
I was an honest man.
Well, I'm a dirty liar.
I think now
I was iffy about him.
He is a
4th in the NFL passer rating.
Legit franchise.
People are going to call him a
quarterback.
game manager and all this stuff, but to me, game manager means winner. Okay?
Ooh.
Look at Alex Smith.
like
Everyone
that.
on this table hates Alex Smith.
Not me.
I don't
4-0.
hate
I
Alex
don't hate him. Hey.
Hey,
Just because I'm a Raider
I
fan.
like
no,
Mahomes, but
Alex
I love Mahomes. Okay, that's a different.
I don't think the Chiefs really like Alex Smith that much, or otherwise, why would they trade up to 10th to get a quarterback?
All right, guys. Pick him
let's
up.
go with the picks.
Let's go. Pick him up.
Cooper Cup and the
I'm
Los
going-
Angeles Rams.
I'm going Rams.
I'm actually gonna go with the Rams.
Ooh.
Every bone in my body's telling me not to pick the Rams, but I'm going to pick them.
Bread and butter, clean
Bread and
sweep.
butter, clean sweep.
It's a clean sweep.
Hey, LA Raiders.
Let it be known that the winner of this game could possibly win the division.
Yes, that's basically what this game means.
Well, this is the division. I mean,
This is it.
this is it.
Let's make
We're
the
not
rest.
gonna-
Let's make the rest of these picks quick, guys. Jacksonville and Pittsburgh. Jacksonville.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Or they had a terrible. They played not so well last week.
They
They
played
lost
not
to
this
the
well this whole
Jets.
season.
They lost to
Unless
the
they play
Jets,
in London.
They
so-
lost to the Jaguars lost to the Jets. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm going with
The Steelers lost to the Bears.
Oh, well.
I'm gonna go
Off
with
week, off
I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh.
I have to pick Pittsburgh. I would not be surprised if Jacksonville won.
Richard,
Pittsburgh.
Did you pick Pittsburgh, Tanner?
gets a clean sweep. Jets in Cleveland.
This was the original tank for Darnold.
This
but
was
now,
the original tank.
Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zach,
Well,
what's
no,
what's
Miles
the
Garrett's
Browns
coming back.
schedule?
Miles Garrett is
record
playing.
again?
Miles
0
Garrett's
and 4.
playing.
The Browns are 0
I still
4.
don't think. I don't think he's going to do.
Where is it?
Anything special? It's in
Cleveland.
I'm gonna go with the Jets.
You know what? I have a feeling Browns.
The Jets defense is so bad.
I have a feeling Deshaun Kaiser is gonna have a great game.
Yeah,
and I feel like he and Miles Garrett's
But
gonna play.
he cannot stop turning the ball over.
I know, but I
Deshaun
feel
Kaiser?
Yeah.
yes, but I feel like this is the game where he'll have 2
Only throw
touchdowns.
2 picks.
No, I feel like he'll have 2 touchdowns. That's it. Maybe he'll maybe fumble the ball, but I think this is the game for Cleveland.
I think Josh McCown beats his old team.
I do too.
So we say Browns, me and George.
Yeah, I'm
and
going
you two
Browns.
Say the Jets, Richard.
Jets.
Jets.
Oh,
we
okay.
got
He said the
3
Browns.
dude. We're hopping on the Owen train.
Oh, this might be the game of the week.
I was thinking about saying that. Funny enough.
Carolina, Detroit.
Carolina and Detroit, both teams 3-1. Carolina beating Tom Brady and Foxborough again. Detroit, always been a good team, always been a tough test no matter what team they're playing. I'm going to go with Carolina. Say Cam Newton gets the job done.
Where is
I
it?
love
Detroit.
Matty Staff. So
I'm picking Detroit. I think Carolina gets the lead and then they lose in the fourth quarter because that's what Matt Stafford does.
Matt Stafford.
I say Carolina gets the road win. George?
I like the Panthers in this one as well.
I think McCaffrey has a big day, either receiving or rushing. But
Richard?
I
More
like
receiving
Matthew
yards than
Stafford this season though.
Matt Stafford's just
Lions?
Yeah, he's been playing really good.
Shut
So
up.
it's two
MVP pick.
Panthers
Really?
to he said Detroit.
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 I think me
Tanner
and
said
Tanner were the
Detroit.
only people that said Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Richard said Detroit.
That's because we
Ten-
love Matt Stafford.
Tennessee and Miami, Mariota, I believe he's
Out.
out?
He's out?
Okay,
He's
he's
It's,
training.
no, he's really doubtful. He's questionable, but I don't think he's going to play.
Yeah.
Tennessee and Miami,
Who's home?
Miami. Tennessee's been very underperforming this year, but I'm still going to ride with the Titans.
Yeah, I think they're just going to run the ball a lot.
Yeah, I mean the Dolphins do have a stud at quarterback, but I'm
Shut
still going
up.
to go with the Titans.
No,
stud.
if they don't got Marcus, I'm gonna have to go with the Dolphins on this one.
Anytime Jake Cutler wins, or you're playing Jake Cutler, when you're the opposite team, you know you have a shot to win.
Okay, the only reason, have you seen that clip where Jay Cutler is a receiver in the Wildcat?
And he
And he's
doesn't
literally
block.
just standing there like a fat piece of lard.
With a
It's just
cigarette in
because
his mouth.
he was just tired because it was in London, okay?
He was tired.
He had a
'cause
really rough flight.
He's a really mobile guy. He runs a lot,
up.
so he was tired.
The Chargers.
So we all say Tennessee.
No, I got Dolphins.
Oh, we said
Go
the
Miami.
Dolphins. George said the Dolphins. Richard?
Are you from Nashville?
Titans.
Brother?
'Cause
Brother?
You're the only 10 I see.
Does that one work for you often?
And I've never said it.
Baltimore and Oakland.
There you go. There you go, George.
There you go, George. What do you got to say? You don't have your quarterback for a
Yeah, you know
few
what? I have to
months.
say, I'm a bit disappointed. The offensive line for the Raiders has not been playing well. The only positive is our defense. They're solid, but with no Derek Carr, this is the first time. But I'm gonna pick the Ravens winning in Oakland.
In
See,
Oakland.
I kind of want to pick the like. To me, it's worrisome for the Raiders because they lost their starting quarterback.
Right.
The only positive thing is they're playing a Ravens team who's looked just awful.
Like, do
the
you
last
believe
2 weeks.
like Manuel could beat a Ravens team?
I think he has. Taylor doesn't like the term. I think he just has to be a game manager and he has to try to not do too much.
So he's gonna win.
I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
Yeah. See, winner.
I'm going to go with the Raiders as well. I don't think
I
the Ravens are
think-
that good of a team on the road
It's in Oakland.
in the black hole.
I'm picking the Ravens. Their offense just has too much potential to just not be good.
Richard, Ravens, 3 Ravens to 2 Raiders. Potential rookie of the year This is the rookie of the year matchup. Kareem Hunt versus Deshaun Watson.
That's
The
not true. Cooper Cup's not playing that game.
Oh, you're right.
This is the game
This
of
is
the week.
game of the week, everybody.
Sunday night football.
Hashtag bread and butter game of the week.
Yeah.
This is the night
Oh, it's a
game.
good game. Good
This is
game.
the nightcap. The Chiefs are the only undefeated team in the NFL. They've looked very impressive throughout the whole year, just beating anybody, obviously. Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans have also looked impressive. They almost won in Foxborough, but he did look very impressive. They put up 54 last week, I believe.
57.
57?
They
Yeah.
they did not look impressive against
did
Cincinnati.
you guys see the picture? If you just started Houston Texans, the defense, the kicker, Deshaun Watson, the quarterbacks and stuff, you'd have gotten 140 fantasy points.
Wow.
You would have won.
You would have won.
They had
Guys?
a good day.
Safe to say everyone picked up Deshaun Watson in fantasy leagues.
I didn't. I have Alex Smith.
This is a big game if you're Deshaun Watson because Kareem Hunt is the front runner for Rookie of the Year.
Aside from Cooper Kupp.
Aside from Cooper Kupp. And by the way, if you didn't know, Taylor actually gets to vote for Rookie of the Year. He has a credential for that.
Yeah, I do. What?
Yeah, you
What?
do. It came in the mail.
Okay.
You do.
Came in the middle, like, you know.
Yeah, Cooper Cup hooked you up.
Yeah, he listened.
Okay.
Cooper
cool.
Kupp listened, so you do
He's got
get,
my vote.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
You
who
have
do you
to
guys?
move to Washington, though.
But who do you guys got? The Chiefs or the Texans?
I have to pick the Chiefs. They're just too good.
I have to pick the Chiefs.
I would not be surprised if the Texans won, though.
I wouldn't. That's how I felt about the Redskins.
What needs to
but,
happen
I
is
mean,
they need to take Alex Smith out and put Mahomes in, and then rookie quarterback showdown. I'm down.
Maybe George.
Be like a
I
team
love how
of
you
shit.
Are the Texans home?
Alex Smith is so good, but yet everyone's so much higher on.
I love Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. I
You know
don't
what?
understand what the hype about him.
He's
I'm
Brett
Well,
Favre.
I'm gonna go out here on a little limb.
He's
I
always
think-
going to throw a lot
I
of
think
interceptions.
This is that big win for Watson on the big stage.
Okay.
So I
I
got
think
I got
last week was
Texans.
pretty big, but you know,
I'm
That was
this is
against-
bigger.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go with Kansas City.
Yeah, I have
Richard, Kansas City or Houston? The Texans. Okay, I'm going to go with the Chiefs. Chiefs are the most
to.
dominant.
We're
team
the
in
smart
football.
people. Yeah.
Monday night, Mitchell Trubisky making his debut. Minnesota. Is Sam Bradford still out?
I think so.
Yeah.
Case Keenum's looking good though.
Yeah, I know.
The top 3 receivers in the
Two of
NFL
them,
are
Adam Thielen.
Stephon Diggs, Antonio Brown, and then Adam Thielen.
Yeah,
So
I didn't even know who Adam Thielen was before this
I
year
did.
started.
and the downside for Minnesota is Dalvin
Dalvin
Cook's out
Cook.
for the year.
Yep.
Yeah,
ACL.
and he was third in rushing. I want to say
He was.
that's a.
This is a
Huge
big
blow.
game for Mitchell Trubisky, though.
But
Nonetheless,
they still. I mean, Latavius Murray is.
Yeah.
It's,
I mean, they're
it's
going to
a-
be fine with the running
you
game.
know,
And they're
It's not
the
a
Bears
bad-
secondary is like not that great, and they have 2 of the best receivers. And Case Keenum's looking
Yeah.
good.
That's the thing for Mitchell
The Vikings
Trubisky.
defense
Like,
is really good.
the only good thing for him is that he has people. Like he has a running game.
Yeah.
Like, but he
Like,
doesn't really have anyone. I mean,
on
Zach
paper-
Miller's good, but like, he doesn't really have anyone to
Campbell
throw
Wright's
to.
okay. On paper, this game should not be close.
oh, it's not going to be
but
close. All right, take
There's
it
a
back. I'm
Mitchell
sorry.
Trubisky wild factor
Yeah.
where it's Monday night. It's his first
Yeah.
NFL game.
There's something about that.
Could be an upset.
It could, I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. I just stumbled over my words like 5 times.
I feel like because I'm kind of like the same way with like the Broncos that you are with the Bears because that's my dad. My dad likes the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
To where you're always like, have that soft spot for him. You know, like it's not your team, you don't root for him, but you always have that like you want to see
Well,
him.
it's because I always know that they
Yeah.
lost.
But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears won, but I'm still gonna go with Minnesota.
Yeah, I have to pick the Vikings.
Both these teams don't score at all.
Except the Vikings do when they
Well,
play Tampa Bay.
The Bears don't score because Mike Glennon was their quarterback.
I say this is Mitchell Trubisky's game.
Me too.
The Bears are going to.
think they're gonna win?
I think
Yeah,
they're going to
I
win.
got
I
the
think it's going
Bears
to be. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be very close. I think it's going to come down to like a field goal.
Well,
or
I mean, like,
touchdown.
okay, you got to think like for Mitchell Trubisky, one,
He's got a decent
it's a rookie's first game. Two, he's coming in for him. This is like week 1 play because he hasn't played yet, and the other teams are in week 5. That's why I'm going with the Vikings because it's his first game in the middle of the season.
I just think the Vikings defense is too good for him to do anything.
What do you have, Richard? Vikings.
So me and Zach will be going with the Bears.
The
guys are
Bears. Monday night.
that
That
it?
is Monday night. Yep. Thought there was one.
All right, so now we're
I'm
going
an
to pick
idiot.
MVP and
Yes.
Super Bowl.
Before we sign out, we're going to predict our MVP and our Super Bowl matchup,
Write this down too, Richard.
starting with Richard Endahl.
Yeah, who's your MVP, Richard? He's going to say
If-
Cooper Cup.
I don't know who you're going to say.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go for Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper Cup.
Cooper Cup.
All right.
Okay.
That's. Don't bet on that.
Nobody listen to Richard. when
Hey,
it comes
throw
to
down
that.
$5 on that, and you can make some money if it happens. Do bet on that. Don't listen to Taylor. Just don't bet too much on that.
Who's going to win the Super Bowl, Richard? Or are we just going to do MVP first for everybody?
Yeah. George, who are you going to as MVP?
It's a little too early, so I'm gonna play a little safe pick. I'm gonna just say because I feel like Aaron Rodgers on the second half will really let loose. So for right now, I'm gonna go Rodgers, but it's a little bit too early for me. But Rodgers.
Todd Gurley.
MVP?
I like that pick. He's been balling. Yeah.
He
Tanner?
leads. I think he has the
7.
most receiving yards out of a running back.
Yeah, 7 touchdowns. I'm going with Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good pick. That's solid.
Very interesting.
That's interesting.
Very interesting.
Zach.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
That's why we're guessing.
This is why we're guessing. I'm just gonna say Aaron Rodgers for now. But when we get to later in the year, maybe I'll have a solid answer.
Okay.
Super Bowl matchups.
Matt Stafford. Quote that.
Wait, in the Super Bowl?
No, it is MVP.
Okay.
You got
No,
it.
the Lions in the
Richard's
Super
going
Bowl.
to the Super Bowl.
Richard, who's winning the Super Bowl?
Wait, we're doing who's going?
Matchup.
Who's going? Okay. Who's going to the Super Bowl? Don't say who's gonna win. Just who's going.
We'll
Don't
get
cuss.
Richard. You write it down later because
Yeah, all right.
You
who's going to the
goofy.
Super Bowl, George?
Just pick the Rams, Richard.
I know.
Right.
Rams and Chargers.
I don't know if I can get you guys like my Super Bowl matchup, but I think for the NFC Championship, you definitely have the Packers and Falcons meeting up on the third round. And this is my
Driving a car.
And then in the and in the AFC, I think if you're Andy Reid and the Chiefs and you're saying, "Hey, we're 4-0 and the Pats are 2-2," I think they're going to really hone in on trying to get that best record and get that home field in KC. So I like the Pats traveling to KC for that AFC Championship game.
Okay.
So
Just pick a Super Bowl winner right now.
So right
Gun to your
now-
head.
No, the game. Pick the game, not the winner.
Oh, yeah.
no. All right, so I'm gonna lean it towards the Chiefs right now. I'll do like
Gun to your head.
Chiefs versus.
I'm gonna pull a trigger.
probably the Packers.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
Taylor,
gonna pick the.
We know you've been thinking about this.
I actually really haven't.
Thinking about you. Have I told you that I love
I'm gonna pick the. I'm gonna pick. Ew.
Today, son.
Gun to my head. I have to pick the. I'm gonna pick the Broncos
Okay.
and the Eagles.
I was thinking
Wow.
about the Broncos.
I
This
was-
is so
yeah.
dumb. What's wrong with me?
Okay, we'll cement that in history. Tanner.
What did I do?
I'm gonna say like. Okay, I'm gonna pick the Falcons for sure for the NFC, and this is every other year the Patriots go, so they're not gonna go this year. They're gonna go next year. So I'm just gonna say the Chiefs.
Okay.
The Chiefs.
Duh, Chiefs, not the Chiefs. Duh,
Duh,
Chiefs.
Okay. For the NFC, I'm going to go with the Packers. And
The Packers can't beat Atlanta. That's the one team that
we are
has
still
Aaron Rodgers'
early.
number.
Yeah, it's week 5, dude.
Just wait 5 more weeks.
Yeah, that's what everybody said last year in the playoff game.
And then for
It wasn't even
and then in the
close.
AFC, I'm going to go with the Broncos.
And then one more. We got Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year. Who you got for Rookie of the Year over there, Richard? Dude, I don't know. Okay.
I'm gonna say
Kareem Hunt.
I think as of right now it should be Kareem Hunt, but I think Deshaun Watson probably wins it because quarterbacks get
Everything.
more credit for things. So I'm gonna say Deshaun Watson.
George?
I'm actually. Tanner actually made me kind of change my mind a little bit.
No, go with your first instinct.
I was gonna go Hunt, but I
Go
am
with
liking
your heart.
Watson. But I'm gonna have to go with Hunt just because he's just multi-dimension, running, receiving, a little bit.
Or OJ Howard maybe.
Shut up. I mean, outside of the obvious Cooper Cup, because it's just like disqualified. He's too good.
The juice.
The juice is loose.
I'm gonna pick Deshaun Watson, but sleeper pick.
Offensive player of the year,
Of-
Kareem Hunt. Quote it.
Trubisky. I think he can put up big numbers.
Wow.
Trubisky, I don't think he's better than Watson. I didn't think that coming into the draft, so I don't.
Wait, what?
I think it could happen. Like if the Bears turn around the season right now, like
Somebody
because of
slap
this,
man right now.
That's true. If they did, then yeah, it's definitely a huge possibility. But
I'm going to go with Deshaun Watson.
all right.
Deshaun,
Deshaun Watson,
sleeper
and just
pick,
like that, we're
Deshaun
at time.
Kaiser.
We're going to wrap it up here for Bread and Butter, episode number 9.
Start of the day.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, we'll start of the day tomorrow on Monday, and then we'll do 2.
It'll be backed up.
Yeah.
We got backlog stats for Monday.
Love you, AC Green.
AC
Oh, yeah,
Green,
AC
and
Green.
happy birthday,
It's
AC Green, the Iron Man.
It's
of
Mike
the
Williams'
Lakers.
birthday. That's all we got.
That's all we got
That's all we got.
for episode 9. Signing off, I'm Zach Ferber, Tanner Nava, Taylor Enns, George Ventura, Richard Endall. We will see you guys on Monday for episode 10. We made it to double digits.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or on YouTube now. What's up, YouTube fam? Eventually, we'll get Instagram. We're working baby steps, one step at a time. So, see you later, guys.
Have a good rest of the day.
Good show.
Good show, brothers. Let's go get some Subway.
Brother, are you telling me? You guys are crazy. It's not stopping for
Let's put whatever's on there on there. 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 Let's put whatever's on